sounds to me as if the reverse is happening. They're generating the response because of a political need to make that quote unquote threat the biggest. Is that a good summary, Mr. Friend?
Yes, it's the self-licking ice cream cone. They come up with a solution and look for a problem to apply it to, and they personally benefit from that in the amount of $30,000 to $50,000 when you get to the senior executive level. That is heavily based on compensation is based on incentives.
Yes, well, here's the thing. In one of the arguments that the individual capacity defendants raised for dismissal is that they are such high-level executives that the court has no jurisdiction because they're not personally involved in the plight, of what has been alleged in the second amended complaint. And Mr. Friend, that's one of the whistleblowers, Steve Friend. He wrote a book, and Mr. Friend here proves otherwise. This is a great thing that we're having in real time testimony and evidence coming from places we never fathomed we would have. And what he's saying is the top management is giving the carrot to the donkey, is giving financial incentives to put people that shouldn't be on the list in the list. So it's not a personal decision of a sole agent in the in the San Juan field office or the Jacksonville. No, it's not. What they try to defend themselves with is saying, no, it's maybe sole actors. And what Mr. Friend here proves is that this is a policy that comes from above, so much so that supervisors and agents are rewarded for the more people they put, they designate as domestic terrorists. He talks about from $30,000 to $50,000. Do you know what it is that I don't know if that's yearly, if that's monthly. I don't know how those $30,000 to $50,000 bonuses translate to, but they clearly come from upper management, from the defendants that are named individual defendants in this case, and to those agents that maybe got $1,000 more in their monthly paycheck, or God knows, trimester, whatever. You sold out your fellow American citizens, placing them in this terrorist list, disgracing them for life, submitting them to a life of torture, just because you had a little bit more money to go on vacation, or I don't know, to buy a new car, whatever. And that's exactly what you did. And I want to know, that's what I really want to know, if they know the repercussions of putting, just classifying as domestic terrorists these people in exchange of that money, if they know the personal lifetime repercussions for targeted individuals placed on that list out of their sheer greed, because that's what it is. It's pure greed. For greed, they are condemning people to a life of torture. So that clip from Mr. Friend is just, it's all this evidence that it's coming from all these places. And that's why I'm saying this is, for me, it's a time of God. There's a chronological time, the chronos and the kairos. And this is the time of God, where we filed in the very moment that we had to file, because all of this synergy, all this synchronicity is happening. I don't know if you have any further questions.
Oh, I just have a comment. I actually read Mr. Friend's book called True Blue. I was very impressed with him. And I invited and Stephen, if you're listening, you are very welcome on this show. When I was reading your book, what stood out to me is that you said you were a history buff, and when you recognized that the law enforcement and the political forces were merging, that was a sign of totalitarianism that he recognized, that you, Mr. Friend, recognized. So I have read your book. I'm very impressed. I like the way how you phrased the FBI reforms that needed to be done. You called it fumigation, and that is a very strong word. And I believe that question that you asked, Anna, 30 to 50,000, it was per case. In his book, he describes the process and how he left the FBI, how FBI left him, and we all know that he was testifying in a congressional hearing on this subject of weaponization of the government, and that was a very strong testimony. And thank you, Stephen, for your service. That's really you describe that being a whistleblower, you consider it a part of your service. Thank you for your service, Mr. Friend.